My problem is that my culture is super far advanced, but I haven't. That's what I'm doing right now with my steward. I gotta spread my culture to some of these cities. Cause yeah, I'm spreading my culture to Jerusalem. Cause yeah, they're still in the tribal age here. They're Mashriki, which is of course 0% cultural acceptance. They're behind the 8 ball, as far as I'm concerned.
What a booter.
That's crazy. The guy that led the Catholic uprising, he will not accept conversion. He's like 20. You know, he's got 25 marshal. He's not bad. I'd love to have him in my service for free, but he will not accept. Just straight up, he's reluctant to convert. -200. He'd rather sit in jail. That's what I'm saying, man. You and I have a, like I said, I'll be interested to see what happens if I'm able to do the religion here. Well, yeah, we're in a world of hurt. You and I are trying to fight all these Catholics, but we fought so hard to keep. Now, us. What can you do?
What can you do? Yeah, should be a trying to.
Yeah, well, what's your goal? What's happening? Obviously, finish that rebellion.
Finish the rebellion, hold on to dear life. And then what was I trying to do? I need to spin off all my Africa shit. Hope for the best down there.
You're on your own, kids. You're on your own.
Yeah, keep on building up. I finally got to the next tier of buildings, so I can start building some more buildings. If I ever get enough money.
What's your cash at?
I get plus 13 with my army raised.
Yeah.
Good, plus 100.
You're really dependent on those the ultras coming in. Hey, come on, hey, don't you need forgiveness? Huh? I know you sinned.
Don't you need forgiveness?
Right, come on now.
I'll say a prayer. It'll be a blessing.
All right, you're really helping yourself. You're not helping me. Hey, where did you find the menu? Those 3 little dots that you found. 'Cause I think it was like, I was gonna look in there and see if there was a thing for indulgences. I'd like to just make it so that it just like pops up in my face. I can just accept it. Because like right now you have to go to the top, but it pops up there, you have to go to the top, click it, and then click accept, you know? So many types of
So many.
Only more coming.
Yeah, I don't see that. Chapstick.
what I did want to look at. I wanted to see if I had. Let's see if I had any seeds worth a damn.
Hey, Mr. Moneybag, start religions.
Yeah,
Seeing of you.
So okay, so if I have a famed star here, that means by promoting the legend, does it get into the illustrious like the 3-star thing, or does that have to start there?
No, you get to promote it.
So it starts at 1 no matter what, and then it will eventually turn into a 3.
I think so.
Okay. I'm not doing anything with this guy. Cause I feel like, well, I forget I read something where it's like if you do the legend on yourself while you're still alive, it's less impactful than if like your son, like like be the most holy life of Patriarch Rodrigo, like my guy I'm playing right now. If I do it now, it's like not as meaningful as if I do it as the next guy. We're reading this somewhere. Well, a lot of my legends are guardian of the Roman Catholicism holy site. It's like, well, how about that?
Freaking sheep. Why ritual celebrations?
I like the boast and piety.
Oh.
Yeah, because I feel like, so for me, for my succession with Holy Roman Empire, since it's a religion now, or since it's an election now, that the criteria of that election is based on your piety. So like they're gonna look at you and be like, hey, are you a pious guy? Do you have your level of piety, your level of devotion? Is it strong? Because then we'll vote for you. If not, then we're not gonna vote for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of like. That's why I'm like just trying to make sure that piety is strong. Yeah, like people are like +10 on Pius for voting for him. So I might change that to Crusades in the future. That one was kind of a toss-up. Where I was like, I guess I'll do that one for now. But I mean, I like the Catechism because I like that. I like that monthly learning lifestyle plus 20%. So just learning away. Yeah, the secession law that's what it says in there. The secession law places significant importance on faith and piety. Gotta keep that learning up there. Although my son is not the man I was. He also needs to have a kid at some point here. Friendos. Like I could seduce her myself. Sacre bleu. God, how many marriages has it been now between House Bear and Andrew? So this guy I'm playing at right now was mostly married to Drew. He had 9 kids. She was great. Genius. Wonderful. Miguel was, you know, his father was married to House Bear, so that's 3 in a row. 3 in a row, less 3. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens with your religion, though, if I do mend the schism. Like, will that even affect you at all, or I don't even know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Never done it before. We're in uncharted ground here, Bear.
Oh my.
Constantinople is giving me 24 gold a month. That's a lot of moolah. That's more than Genoa, which is kind of hard to believe.
Wow.
So that's another thing I need to do, because so now I'm kind of like transitioning to where basically I'm just a succession. I'm making all of my successions that I want elections. Cause like, okay, well, if my main one's going to be an election anyway, then I might as well just play the diplomacy game and just make it elections here. So I'm going to try to make an election law, a succession law for Constantinople, but I need to have the whole duchy to do that. So I need to take a war against Byzantine and get that whole duchy, and then I can make a succession law about it. So that way, whenever the succession happens, it just stays with the person based off the election. And I have that Pope in jail.
What's the Pope in jail?
Pope's in jail. Oh God. I have a truce.
My old friend, the Pope.
I have a truce with him for 3 more months. And then I'm gonna get a fabricating claim on the bishopric of Roma. In 13 months, but I'm kind of running, I guess, a guy's 63. I mean, he has whole body. He can carry on. I'm trying to risk it too much here. What's your language? What's Siberia language?
Vulgar.
Doc Volga?
Iberian Vulgar.
Iberian Vulgar. I don't think I have that. Oh no, I do. Iberian Vulgar, I have Doc Vulgar. Bill has a bunch of different languages.
I don't know if he's gonna get to Emperor at this rate.
Yeah, that was a tough succession for him. Yeah, but I think that was one. I mean, yeah, that's tough. He got burned alive, man. That's tough, dude. That's tough.
He was murdered.
He was literally murdered in his bed. That is tough. So now he's got to fight the King of Ireland, who doesn't have that many men. He only has 700 men. Well, Bill has 2,300 and he's military, so I think he could be okay. Alba's pretty strong, though, and England is probably stronger than it now, so... Now you're just kind of using your time and your effort to just take back what you had versus expanding.
Hello, gentlemen.
Greetings!
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Ready to...
Win back your kingdom?
I don't know about winning back. But witness to dumpster fire, or in my case, bedroom fire.
Ah,
It's back too soon.
God.
Too soon.
That was crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
Was burned to death. King Philip II.
Wild.
28 years young. Too smart for his own good, I suppose, some would say. Yes. Ay.
Are the Seahawks still being exposed for fraud right now?
They're under
Oh,
audit.
they-
They're under audit.
That's all they were earlier.
Right. The rabbit. They were the rabbit.
Oh god.
Geno Smith leads the league in passing yards.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was gonna say prior to tonight, but probably still after tonight. I don't know. He's number 1 and Purdy's number 3, I believe.
Huh.
That's I don't know, your 2 most prolific passers in the league right here tonight.
There you go.
Only one's having success.
How have you been, Bill? How's your weekend?
Oh,
How's your
Lord.
week?
Pretty good. So far, pretty good week.
Oh, that's good.
Went and watched the playoff tennis this morning.
Oh.
Watched
Playoffs.
Your playoffs.
It was playing.
Watched your Rockport Fulton Pirates beat the Lafayette Lions
Hey, alright.
10-8.
Woo.
Yeah. Pretty banger
Nail
match.
biter, nail
Pretty
biter.
banger match. Our number 1 boys double lost the first set 6-1 or 1-6, I guess. Won the second set 7-5, and then won the tiebreaker 11-9.
Oof. Excellent.
Yeah. A banger. Our number 2 doubles, same thing. Lost first set, won the second set, came back and won a tiebreaker. Pretty dominant fashion, 10-3. But then, you know, some others lost. Anyway, we come out of, the doubles up 4-3.
Oh, pretty close.
So it's very tight. And then we get into the single side of things, and our number 2 and 4 singles both lose their first set in 8 minutes. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, oh,
where have
boy.
I seen that before? No!
I'm starting to do the math on it, and I'm like, this isn't good. We need somebody to win somewhere.
Right, yeah.
And anyway, one of them, our number 2 boys, ended up pulling off a third set tiebreak victory. which was really nice. So it was a weird match because our team is currently coached by like a 24-year-old, very young guy. He coached at Floresville last year for a year, and then now he's here. So he's just a young fella. He's a pretty good player. He didn't play college tennis anywhere, but he's like, I don't know. He's a solid player.
Yeah.
4.0, 4.5 level player. But the challenge is that he's being as young as he is. He doesn't have a whole lot of authority over the kids.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
He's a friend of theirs.
Right.
And but he'll get that as he gets older. But the other team, La Feria, their coach was also looked to be in his mid-20s and didn't have a whole lot of control over his team. And that number one boys doubles match going the way it did, 11-9 and a third set tiebreak, it started to get a little chippy with some of the calls were a little questionable, and they had line judges have to get out there on the court, and then after that there were some vamoses and some let's goes and some chants, and it just got kind of college tennis-esque as far as that atmosphere went. But what ended up happening near the end of the match is it crossed the line between we're cheering for our team versus we're cheering against the other team, and that definitely started to spill over into the singles matches, and it started to get kind of annoying and petty. Like, there was a Rockport kid that needed, like, it was on a side change. It was 4-3, and he needed to go to the restroom, so he went to the restroom. And then at the beginning of second set, the first side change, up 1-0, he needed to go to the restroom again. Which, I mean, kid's drinking a ton of water. Good for him, right? And, like, he went from 4-3, and then after the first set, they had their little 10-minute break. Like, it's not like these restroom breaks were, 8 minutes apart. They're, like, 40 minutes apart,
Yeah.
But the kid called his coach over and, like, had his coach have a talk with our coach about the frequent restroom breaks. And it was like, all right, that's kind of petty. And so, anyway, somebody pulled up the rule book on it and basically was like, he can't go to the restroom again except for between sets.
Right.
It can't be mid-set, and so if it happens again, there's going to be a point penalty. So, that was kind of like, all right, we're being petty now, but it's fine. And then what happened was, like, one of the La Feria kids started cramping, and so he exited the courts while he was cramping, and he took his racket with him. And you're not allowed to do that. You can exit the courts for, like, medical timeout, but you have to leave your racket on the court.
Yeah.
And
I never knew that.
Yeah, and so at that point, like, one of the Rockport assistant coach kind of brought it up. And anyway, they ended up giving the kid not a game penalty, but a point penalty for taking his racket off the court. So it's like we went from, like, this chippy kind of banter at each other to now, like, digging into page 37 of the UST rulebook, and it just starts. And then, so in the deciding match, our number 5 girl single, she closes out the second set. She won the first set 6-1, closed out the second set 6-2, and gives out a pretty nice little battle cry. Let's go! This is to get to our 10th game. This is huge, right?
Let's do it.
This is to get on to regionals. Like, we won last week against London, or earlier. We won on Monday against London. We win today against La Feria. Next up is Cal Allen, so that'll be the last time we play. But anyway, she lets out this, like, let's go, whatever, and then she goes up to the net to shake the girl's hand. She goes, no, that's not the match. That's not match. It was 4-3, and you won that game. Now it's 5-3.
Oh boy.
And the Rockport girl's like, no, I called 5-2. She's like, no, it was 4-3.
I don't miss this.
And then they just get locked up into this stalemate, man.
Right. Yeah.
And the coach goes. Finally, they call over the coaches, and just both of them in their immaturity, they don't know what to do. So they just tell the girls, like, y'all y'all talk about it and figure it out. I was like, what?
Figure
No,
it out.
what? And so, dude, they are standing there at the net for 15 minutes disagreeing.
Yep.
And finally, I pull up the official ruling because UIL still follows USTA rules, and so I pull up the official ruling, screenshot it for scoring disputes,
Bill out here working overtime.
and I send it to the girl's mom that's in the dispute, and I
Yeah.
said, if you would like to send this to Coach Scrivener, you can. And so he sends it to her, and basically there's this 7-layered onion of how to resolve scoring conflict, and and you do it in this order. So the first order is find an agreeable score and start back from that score. If you can't find that, go to part 2, go to part 3. Anyway, if you can't figure something out in the first 6 parts, the next thing you do in part 7 is each player decides what they think the score is, and you spin a racket. That's what you do, and it's just like, and so after 20 minutes go by, and this was like a pretty big match, and I've already won the first set 6-1. She did win the second set 6-2, but there was a disagreement. So it's like, it gets to that point. So finally, Coach Scrivener goes over and he goes, and he kind of goes to that bullet list, and they can't resolve it. And then he goes, okay, so what did you think the score was? Asked the Rockport girl. It's like, it was 5-2, and then I just won that game. I won the second set 6-2. And he asked the other girl, what did you think the score was? She goes, I think it was 4-3, and she won that game. It should be 5-3. He goes, okay, we're going to spin a racket, and whoever wins the spin,
decide.
So
Literally.
the racket lied and said that it was 4-3, but, they still counted the game. So it was 5-3, because they still counted the outcome of that game.
Sure.
And then, the Rockport girl wins 4 straight points and wins the match.
Yeah,
Lets out like a vicious raptor yell, and it wasn't vicious. It was kind of weak and like, a little bit. This girl's like maybe 70 pounds, and she's like, flexing her arms as she's screaming, and it's like, the Patrick Mahomes celebration where he kind of like, it's like the gorilla flex where he flexes down like. A downward flex, not an upward flex, like a body a little bit. Down, like he does that while she's falling. Let's go, and everybody storms the court type of deal, and it was just kind of like it was overly dramatic for a tennis match, but it was the culmination of like the build up from the number 1 boys doubles match, the hoot and the hollering, and then it spilled over into the singles matches. I would say the majority of the matches that ended, the players did not meet at the net for a handshake.
Oh God, LaFania!
Yes.
LaFania was a bad blood.
Well, it was both ways. Like there was once, it was basically whoever lost. It was like, no, I'm not shaking your hand. Yeah. So when the Rockport kid lost, he just waved, right?
All right.
When the LaFania kid lost, and so it was kind of like, yeah. It was not. It was not pretty, but
that's
it's
tennis,
interesting.
Baby. That's tennis.
The 20 kids on varsity, of the 20, 16 of them are freshmen or sophomores. So there's like, and I mean, we did win 2 playoff games. We're gonna lose against Cal Allen, but like we're already decent.
Yeah.
And it's only like a pretty steep upward ascent from here.
That's good, man. Oh, I wish I could see some videos.
Yeah, our number. I really like our number 2 boy. He's a freshman. He just moved here, and his game is just good. And he's just like, I don't know. I'm not hugging here, but he reminds me a lot of the way JD was as a freshman. Like, just really good, like athleticism. Never gave up on points. Just like ran. Probably runs like a 4.5, a 4.6. Tons of lateral quickness. Like, he gets me excited. Our number 1 boy is like not quite as athletic, but way more skilled. He just strokes the ball really well. The problem with him is he's a sophomore, and he's maybe 100 pounds, and like, probably 5'10". So he's a string bean. He'll get there. He'll end up being a pretty good. His brother was 6'1", 6'2". Oh wow. So he'll end up sizing out and being able to catch up from that angle, but he just can't get as much pop on the ball right now because he just has nothing to give.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. That is good, Bill. I mean, yeah. Celebrate the victories, man. You celebrate the victories when you get them, even if even if it doesn't mean like, oh well, just because we don't win state doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate your victories there. So that's good. You think we should fire it up, Bill?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to suffer.
Ready to suffer? Yeah, I know. You got an uphill battle for you. I know pain.
I can handle it.
I think so. You're in a good spot with the guy that you have, because he's strong military.
Right. I'm gonna need it.
Yeah. At least you can use that to your benefit there. So. Before we even talk football, Bill, we have to talk some challenge here. We have to.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We have to. I have notes. I have a few
Okay.
notes.
Gosh.
I'm not gonna. I have so many notes that I would take too much time, but I'm gonna give you the cliff notes of it. My first note is: was the Tina with the nails elimination challenge the most insane thing you've ever seen, or was that kind of like gimmicky, or what the hell happened there? Where Tina was able to use the hammer, get all the nails out immediately and instantly, and then nobody else, including CT or anybody, could figure it out.
Right. Yeah. You know, the script says that board was supposed to be CT's board. Right. Somebody mishandled the script. I'm just kidding. They were one of the on Bananas podcast. Somebody was on and talking about it, and they were saying like, yeah, from their angle, it was very, very, very clear and obvious that board was not like the other three boards. And the theory there is that production just didn't do good quality control, and one person made 3 of the boards and another guy made the other one. And so like they were just nailed in very, very shallowly. And so I think that that's a continuation of the other frustration with the Derek Horacio elimination, because Derek beat Horacio, but they were saying on that same podcast that when Horacio would throw his ball up there in the bucket, it would take forever to come down. Like there was times he's waiting for like 30 seconds for that ball to come down, and it was kind of like getting stuck up there in the mechanism, whereas Derek's ball was like very fluid and very repeatable, and it was just very clear that whoever built each one of those mechanisms did not build them to the same spec, right?
Yep.
And so it kind of highlights this idea that, you know, pole brawl and pole wrestle and balls in and all of that are going to be, you know, competitions that aren't reliant on quality control and that are just like straight up better player wins.
Right.
I did not like that.
That was kind of my next part there. Is it seems like that's, if you just kind of did it in the head, it seems like that's a little bit of hitting the nail on the head there, because I was also looking at even this last one we had where, I mean, I was asking Karen, like, is that made of like foam in like some kind of fiberglass that are these little makeshift shields? They're somehow still injuring people, but also are kind of also look cheap. Like I don't really understand what's happening here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That's definitely, it just seems like, yeah, I mean, you had plenty of time to build a quality product, and it just seems like it's, you know, they just woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the elimination was at 2 that afternoon, and they just spent like 3 hours putting something together, and it shows. And it's the same with that Tina elimination, where it was just like, if there was any quality control in that, like they could have found a way to balance that a little bit, but it's just very obvious that like it wasn't really thought through.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so that part there. But my next note is I don't blame Corey at all for never going on this show. Or Jenny for not coming back in as many years as she has. Because, you know, just with the, yeah, I mean, I'm happy they gave a name to it there, but yeah, the Vacation Alliance is a real thing. You're either in or you're out. And if you're out, then you're just going to be in the elimination over and over again. So, and that's pretty annoying. It's kind of hard to win the game. You know, the way you win the game is you don't go into elimination very often. You can only go into elimination so many times and survive, because there's going to be something gimmicky. There's going to be some, like you said, some kind of production, you know, mishap. And yeah, you're going to get unlucky one of them. So.
Yep.
I really don't blame them at all. Honestly, I can't say that I do. CT went down pretty ugly to Nehemiah. I was not expecting. I mean, I guess yeah, like you said, it's kind of Nails gimmicky stuff, but he just kind of got schooled there. The Nails part.
I'm kind of. Oh yeah, that was
bizarre.
Yeah.
I put some old school party scenes, which I thought was interesting. I like to hear your thoughts. Like, I'm actually kind of did give me some vibes of like old school challenge, where just the house, and you know, there's kind of more just stuff going on. Like, you know, it's kind of, the guys are dressing up differently, girls are dressing up, and there's more, you know, sex kind of stuff going on there. For lack of a better word there. So
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Kind of that. I feel like that theme has not really been there as much, but it has been this season.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's interesting. I didn't really think about it much when it was happening. I do like it. I do think that so much of the airtime has been given to, like, you know, the politics and the confessionals of the politics and all that, that it gets a little bit exhausting, and it makes you kind of dislike somebody.
Right.
The more they just get like tangled up in the drama, you can start to get annoyed by them. It's kind of just seems juvenile. So I think the partying and like just them relaxing and having a good time just kind of reminds you that, like, you know, they're just normal people, and it's kind of sometimes refreshing to see them hanging out and partying, and like they're just dancing or drinking or whatever with the people that you think that they can't stand.
Right.
And they're just actually kind of fine. So I think that that's the majority of the challenge. Is like 90% of it, they're actually just all friends, and then they just get into arguments here and there, just like any roommates would.
Right. Fair.
You know.
Fair.
And I think we've been painted this image that they just always hate each other, when it's just like, if I lived with you guys, we would fight more often than the challenge competitors do. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it kind of, I don't know, makes them seem more normal to me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so that's kind of nice to see, because I feel like, especially these last couple seasons, it's been I don't know how to say, like too strategical, I guess. Like, there's not enough kind of fun happening. It's just kind of like, you know, just not enough fun, I guess. So it's nice to see some of that coming in there. I did think it was fairly weird that Era 1 just kind of kept going, and obviously it's still going. You know, they couldn't even play the heights game, you know, when they jumped off the bungee cord basically thing. You know, Tina had to do the puzzle by herself, which is a pretty big disadvantage, because everyone else has 2 people working on their puzzle. She just has 1. So I just want to hear your thoughts on, what are your thoughts on them just like, basically, I mean, they're just kind of just sending them down to die, basically. Especially in the challenges that they were doing, and a lot of them was like just a numbers game. Like, Era 4 won the Gladiator one. Yeah, they had 4 girls. And everyone else has like 1 or 2. So yeah, they won. Like, so I guess, like, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that? Are they trying, you think they're just trying to get Era 1 out of there? Just trying to get them out of there? Or?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're wildly unprepared for what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's...
Of this.
I think, now that you mentioned that, it's not, things are making a lot more, things are making a lot more sense that you mentioned. Yeah, the production stuff, even with Horacio's thing there. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, this season, last thing I had there is that this season they seem to be making a point of having, like, Jenny and Theo go tell Corey that they're gonna throw them in, whereas in the past it would kind of be more like, hey, surprise, who are they gonna throw in? I don't know, I guess we'll see at the elimination kind of thing, you know? But this season they're really making a point of like, alright, hey, producer's like, hey, go tell them in their room right now. Like Jordan told Tina the other time, hey, go tell them. So it's like, that was kind of interesting too. That's a pretty different stroke for them.
I don't know what that's all about. Like, I guess they're just trying to be more upfront and not blindside people this season.
Right.
There's been more of a culture of that, and so I guess that's what they're highlighting. But I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. That's just, yeah. I guess that's what they're trying to do. I think that, like, because of this, taking turns nominating yourself to be the target. Like, we're all gonna take our turns here. We're all gonna be upfront with one another. We're just gonna, like, not play a shady game. We're gonna play scared, but we're not gonna play shady. I think that's kind of the idea this year. So I think that whole idea of going into each other's room and explaining, like, hey, it's gonna be you. I'm being nice and telling you ahead of time. Just kind of plays into that whole theme of, like, we're gonna be fair.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. What are your thoughts on the season in general then? When you're kind of...
You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't dislike what's going on, with the exception of, like, one era just getting teamed up on just doesn't feel great.
Right.
And then not only does one era just get gangbanged like that, but then the daily challenge being what it was like, yeah, let's figure out what daily we can give to screw y'all even harder.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Just to really make sure
and, like,
y'all
production. Yeah, production could have found a challenge there that was like, you know, one that
to have 2 people.
Maybe a benefit, exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's go run 10 miles. Well, the team with, well, not counting Derek's broken leg, but the team with 2 people has an immediate advantage over the team with 8, because, like, you know, you're as good as your weakest link. Well, there's less opportunities for weak links there, you know.
Yep.
And
yeah,
and then instead they're like, what? I know. And instead they thought, what daily can we make to screw the duo over the hardest? Right. Oh, let's give everybody a gladiator shield and push each other off the platforms. Yeah.
With teams, in teams.
That's the one. Yeah. That's clearly the one that makes the most sense.
Right. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, it's been weird, man. It's been weird. It's been weird. I don't really know. Yeah, man, it just seems like they just wanted to get the old guys out of there. Oh, and my question, last thing I had was, do you think, let's ask Karen this too, do you think one of the members of the Vacation Alliance wins the challenge?
What's the Vacation Alliance?
Like Tori, Devin, Casey, Josh, that's the ones that come to mind, but there are some other people in there I just can't think of right now.
Nah,
You say no.
I don't. No, I think that Ginny wins because she's male or female, the best physical threat in the show.
Yep.
So I feel strong about that pick. And then on the guy's side, I feel like, the producers give an edit to, they give edits to people that are going to make it far in the show, in my opinion. Give a lot of screen time to them, like they want the players that are going to be there for a long time to get a better edit. Like they're not going to give somebody a ton of confessionals, a ton of screen time, a ton of stuff if they're just going to make it 2 weeks.
Right.
So I think that Corey's going to make it really far because he has been like the center of a lot of stuff, and so has Ginny. They've been the center of a lot of stories. We've got a lot of confessional, they get a lot of screen time. So I think they're really setting them up to be long-term big pieces in the game. So I'm saying on the girl side, Ginny is going to win it, and then the other one is like, I don't know what they're going to do with Arrow 1 and how they're going to incorporate things, but if they find a way for people just to ignore Rachel, I'm drinking the Rachel Kool-Aid.
Yeah. And yeah, that was, I mean, for Avery there, that was a tough look. Just kind of just phrasing, and you call it a choke job, you call it what you want, but she just basically just stood there and just got her ass kicked. And,
Yeah.
TJ's like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to run around. But I also felt like with that too, that there was a pretty, I mean, maybe you guys disagree, but I felt like there was a pretty good difference there if you went first or second. Like, I do feel like there was an advantage to going first.
Do you agree? I do agree.
I don't think it's a coincidence that both people that went first won. I mean, maybe they were better off anyway, probably, but bumbling Derek and all that. But
I do think that they need to start us as the fans, because this is all about us, how they're coming to the decisions they're coming to. So on the nail challenge, how did y'all determine who gets which board?
Right.
Was it coin toss? Was it a rock, paper, scissors? How did y'all do this? Because if you're just assigning one person a board over the other, then the conspiracy theorists are going to conspiracy theory. And we're going to come up with our own reasoning. And in the same way, like, how do you decide that, Rachel gets to be the attacker first? Like, I need to know why, what helped y'all come to that conclusion so that I can decide if this show's rigged or not.
Right. Or yeah, even to the extent that it's rigged. Obviously, there's going to be some chicanery, like you said, production stuff going on. But, like, yeah, like, one of my notes was there. I thought it was a little bizarre that the elimination that comes up where Michelle is in there is a puzzle. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have picked anything physical for her? Nope, she's doing a puzzle. Like, really? This person? I mean, I've been, as you know, I've seen her. This is my 4th season in a row. I'm seeing her sick of her.
You're over. Yeah.
I don't even think she hasn't even really been that bad. She hasn't really done that much since she's been a pawn. But yeah, I'm just tired of her. So that wasn't exactly a welcome sign for me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point there. Yeah, they did kind of like you said, they kind of brushed under that the Cara Maria Laurel fight. Like, yes, they had it.
Right.
Like, you could tell she was pretty messed.
Bothered, right?
Yeah, pretty bothered by it. But yeah, they didn't really go into like, oh yeah, she took a day off. She had a mental health day. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, how's that? So they just went to their rooms, and 30 minutes later, everything was fine.
Right. Your best friends again.
Yep. Buddies.
Yeah. So yeah, my pick right now, who's gonna win it on the girl side, is either Ginny, like that's my confident one. But then my dark horse is Rachel. On the guy's side, my pick would be Jordan, just because, I don't know, I've always been high on Jordan. I just think athletically, he's one of the best players to compete in the challenge.
Right.
And then I think mentally, he is also right there. I think the biggest Achilles heel for Jordan is if there's an elimination he's in that requires 2 hands.
2 hands, yeah.
If he has 1 hand. Which is wild that a one-handed dude is still like,
Right. That good.
I just feel confidently is like the most athletically viable guy on the show.
Yep.
So, but then my wild card, but that's my like favorite, and then my wild card would be Corey. I just think he's getting a good edit, and I think he's been obviously terrible at puzzles, but outside of puzzles, I think what he does athletically has been extremely underrated.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is.
Like, he embraced
He's definitely in shape.
contact. He's in shape. He's fast. He's just a quick dude.
Yeah. And he's young. You know what he has in a lot of these guys? He's young. And age, especially when it comes to quickness, that's where you can get by with strength and your brain and all that. But when it comes to like quick movements, that's where the age gets.
Yeah.
And he's got that. I mean, yeah, Derek did the best he could, but I mean, he's 40 this year. Those fast twitch muscles, they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Okay, that's all a challenge, Sean. I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. That's all I'll do. Let's talk about our 4-1 Houston, Texas.
All right, baby.
Texas.
Best team in the league.
Squad. I mean, you can make the argument.
It's.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on Buffalo?
Buffalo sucks.
Talk about another team like Seattle. There, they might be the same as Seattle.
Yeah, I mean them. It's tough because like it's a copycat league, and what everybody's trying to copy is what Kansas City Chiefs are doing.
Yep.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are paying their quarterback a fortune of money, and then putting a bunch of like JV players around him,
hoping your draft picks
hoping that he can make these JV kids look good, which he has done with Rasheed Rice. Hasn't really done with anybody else. Well, that's what the Bills are trying to copy, and they just gave Josh Allen like freaking Khalil Shakir and a rookie that can't get separation, and I don't even know who else. I literally don't know who else. Oh, they're the great value Travis Kelce and Dalton Kincaid. Like, they're just trying to copy it, and I don't know, man. Like, the difference is in the coaching a lot of times. I think that Andy Reid can pull off some stuff schematically that can make some of these like maybe undervalued players get open and make things happen, like he's been doing with the Xavier Worthy already. Like, it's impressive. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't think Josh Allen quite elevates a team the same way Patrick Mahomes does.
Right.
So.
I mean, like you said, I think that's what pretty much everyone's trying to do. That's what Dallas is trying to do. That's what the Jags are trying to do. Like, yeah, we're paying Trevor. Hey, we're paying Lamar. We're paying all these guys. And it's like, well, yeah, then you're gonna need some bargain bin guys to fill out the other 52 guys on the team. So.
Right.
You're gonna need some magic coaching, like you said, or just get on some draft picks or something.
Right, and it's it's nothing new. It's a continuation of what the Patriots did.
Right.
Tom Brady never had, outside of Gronk, which was their draft pick, and in the very brief Randy Moss stint, which was very brief, they never really had anybody crazy. Their investment was on the defensive side of the ball, and the hope that Tom Brady would elevate the guys around him. But the difference between Tom Brady and Josh Allen is Tom Brady's the best ever, and Josh Allen's not.
Right.
I think teams that have, I think teams like the Bills should go the, Peyton Manning, Indianapolis Colts route of put all your money on offense. and suck so bad on defense, but you're going to put up 50 points a game. Because they did that. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, who was the Dallas Clark, yep. Yeah, Oakland. I mean, they had some guys over the years that were just all their money was on offense, and then the only guy on defense was that safety, Bob Sanders. Like, I don't even think anybody else was on the field. I think it was just Bob Sanders versus 11 guys.
Yeah.
That's how bad their defense was back then. Like, it was awful. Dwight Freeney was there, but like, they were not a defensive team, but they were able to, like, yeah, I know they only won one, but they were able to get there. And I think that's what, I just don't think that if you don't have a Peyton Manning or a Patrick Mahomes, you can't just try and copy them. It's like, it can't be a copycat league when you're trying to copy something that's a uniform. So I think that's where they're in a bad spot because of that.
You're right. You're right.
I'm still not like over the moon with our team though.
Right. Yeah. Defense looks good. We're number 3rd DVOA for defense.
Right.
So defense is fine. But yeah. It'd be nice to just kill a team. I would love for us to just kill the Patriots, right? The Patriots are playing, yeah.
Yeah, but it's better.
Can we just like dominate a team? Because we haven't really like just beat the crap out of a team this whole season. It's all been, within 7.
Not last season either.
Yeah, last season. But last season we came in with we didn't have the teams that we have this year.
Yeah,
On
I
paper.
understand that, but like, I just, Bobby Sloat doesn't know how to put an animal down. He gets somebody wounded and limping, and instead of just like, taking the 9mm and taking them out back and just putting it away, he's just like kind of nursing them back to health,
Right.
giving them a chance, making it cute. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for another team to hire Bobby Sloat as their head coach. And be fired in the first 2 years, be a sub 500 head coach,
Right.
and then just go back to being an OC somewhere.
Yeah.
Not in Houston.
Not here. Yeah.
I'm worried, like I know the stretch of games here isn't the craziest, which at the beginning of the season, this stretch of games is a little stressful, not the New England part, but we do go to MetLife, and then we do go to Green Bay in this stretch, and that typically would have scared me. And we have Miami in this stretch too. Like that's at the beginning of the year, that was a pretty rough stretch. Now all of a sudden it looks pretty fine, except for I do think Green Bay's like picking off. But during that stretch of 4, we have no Nico.
Yep. They are.
And if
Tank.
you remember last year when Tank got the broken leg, our offense plummeted because team could double Nico, and we didn't have a third guy. We had Noah Brown.
Yep.
And then the opposite, whenever Nico missed a game, everybody can just be off on Tank, and we were trash. So, like, we saw a little bit of that on Sunday where Nico, when he went out in the first quarter, our offense after that, it got stagnant. So, I don't know. Somebody has to step up. We can't be paying Stephon Diggs $20 million a year to not get open.
Yep. Tank's gotta be the guy he was last year too.
Yep. No more jet sweep.
Right.
Double reverses, like no more of that. Yeah. We'll get open. Also, it would be nice if there was a Joe Mixon sighting soon.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Appreciate that.
Supposed to play Sunday.
Yeah. Certainly hope so. Yeah, our running game, not the same.
I think our offensive line is just actually really, really bad.
Yeah, it's not great. That's for sure.
What say you, Sean?
Yeah, let's say you, Bear.
Yeah, I think we got unlucky. It's not that pretty. Nico Collins leaving the game really destroyed the offense. So.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Stefan Diggs, supposedly this elite receiver, self-proclaimed. Then he needs to make a larger impact. I don't know what he did the whole second half.
Nobody did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we didn't even address the freaking atrocity that was the play calling at the end of that game.
Oh.
Both
On
ways,
whose part?
like
Both sides.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, the
Like
Bills.
Bobby
As soon as
Slowick
the Bills,
tried to lose, and then McDermott was like, "No, I want to lose."
Nope. Nope.
Awful,
I'm driving 60 yards right here, boy. 30 seconds, no timeout. What was it, like a minute, no timeouts? We can do it. Watch us go. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. As soon as I saw that. And also I think like that's a great point, Bill, that you made, because like they have Spagnuolo too at Kansas City. So they have like a head coach level defensive coordinator who is just, for whatever reason just wants to be a defensive coordinator. I think he's definitely good enough to be a head coach. But he's same like the Lions offensive coordinator, definitely good enough to be a head coach, but he wanted to stay in Detroit another year, so that's fine. But I mean, yeah, they just have like you said, they can get the most out of basically nothing. Because they have Mahomes, just because their coaching is so good. The Bills do not have that. McDermott is not. I mean, I've thought he's been bad for a long time. He just makes mistakes like that. Like that's your job, especially for him. He's not the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator. Like your whole job is to make like bigger decisions like that. Like you're not calling the plays. Like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's there to be like, okay, hey, I'm sticking to our philosophy here. Okay, hey, I think Johnson, the OC for Detroit. Hey, it's 4th and 1. All right, what do you got? We're going for it on our own 40 or whatever it is. He's the one who's kind of, the bigger decisions. And I feel like McDermott and Sirianni too, the Eagles coach. That's Sirianni's job. You're not going to be a coordinator and call any plays on defense or offense, then.
Right.
You got to make sure you're hitting on those. Like Campbell has been hitting on those. That's why they're good. But if you're not hitting on those and you're not calling plays that are worth a damn, then what are you doing? I'm a fan of that. Yeah, like you said, Josh Allen is not Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott is not Patrick Mahomes, but they paid him like he was better than Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, like he said, like I feel like that's just the problem with all these teams are going to have is that maybe the coach is more important than ever now. Because if you're trying to make the most out of these practice squad level players, you got to have the right scheme, you got to have the right, coaching, drafting, all that. If you're paying, almost 50% of your salary cap for one guy. That's what happened to Miami. Miami's paying 3 guys. They're paying Waddle, Tyreek, and Tua just everything. And
everything.
Then Tua gets hurt again, or concussed again. He's out. So okay, you're playing. You're basically playing with 40% less cap than you should be against other teams that aren't. So good luck.
Yeah, they're going the mid 2000s Colts route.
Right.
Just minus Peyton Manning and instead Tua.
Yeah, that's that's a tough one. It's a tough one to swallow there.
Tough one. I agree with you. I went from like watching football in the sense of like I'm looking at the the Joes on the team, the players on the roster, to in the last few years, like I'm putting a lot of value in these coaches, like who your coach is, because you can't tell me that the talent on that Detroit roster is that much better than the talent on the Bengals roster. But one team's 4-1, the other team's 1-4, and it's because like what Campbell's doing there in Detroit and the scheme that he has going for this team just makes a ton of sense, and it works for the players on the field. Meanwhile, the Bengals are so scared to put Joe Burrow under center that they're forcing him into the pistol or the shotgun, and like teams are just able to like set up on it. They don't bite on any play action because it's all fake, and it's just like there's a reason that team kind of did better when Joe Burrow got hurt last year.
Yeah, they had to run.
Because they went under center, they had to run, the play action started to work, and it was like, oh wow, imagine if you put one of the greatest arm talents we've seen in the last 20 years into that offense. Like, I'm not saying Joe Burrow should be a system guy, but let Joe Burrow operate the offense the same way Brock Purdy does the 49ers, and tell me what happens. It's going to be mental.
Yep.
Like, be a system guy. Embrace it. Do what Jared Goff's done. Embrace it.
Yep.
But you're so much more talented than both of those dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Instead, he's so stuck on wanting to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, yes.
And yes, he has the talent, but like, be a system dude, man. The same. This 49ers roster isn't. I mean, I'm sorry. It isn't the 85 Bears. This is not. It was 85 Bears. Anyway, whatever year the Bears. This isn't the craziest team to play. Like, this isn't the greatest show on turf. This is just another team. But because Shanahan knows what he's doing and he schemes things up so well, that's why it's working. And there's just teams out there that can't figure it out.
Yep.
They don't have the right guy on the headset.
Agree. Yeah, I mean, Chiefs don't. I mean, Chiefs have a couple of guys they drafted, so good for them. I mean, the draft is a crapshoot, but good for them. They drafted a couple of them that are good. They have some misses too. I mean, Kadarius Toney normally should have costed them a lot.
Hall of Famer.
Having MVS as your second receiver usually would screw you. But yeah, I mean, people didn't get hurt. Pacheco was healthy all last year. Rice was healthy all last year. Obviously, Mahomes. But, I mean, he's just not. I put him with CJ in the same thing. There was like CJ. I mean, of course, anything can happen. It's football, but it's not like he's out there like Tua, where it's like, dude, this could go wrong easily.
I do get worried a little bit about the way he gets tackled on sacks.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but when you watch him get sacked, when they show it on replays in slow motion, he goes kind of limp.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And I've seen. I mean, obviously he got the concussion last year,
Right.
but when he gets tackled, like specifically when he gets wrapped up, like he doesn't find a way to like tense up his body and keep his head from smoking the ground. Like his neck seems to be like it's a little bit flaccid, if you will. Not a good word, but that's the word I'm coming up with. Okay, where it's just, I don't know. He's not bracing for it. He's not. He's just letting it thump the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Let's see. Yeah, hopefully it's not something that's long term there.
No, we're set.
He's
Just gotta figure out our play caller.
Yeah.
I saw there's a decently good chance that Mari Lassiter's not going to play on Sunday. Which is really, really bad news because that means that, yeah, I don't know, we're going to get cooked on defense. I mean, it doesn't matter because Greg May is going to be starting, but our secondary sucks.
Yeah.
I know we held Josh Allen to 9 for 30, but like, he missed some wide open guys.
He was concussed.
Matt Collins had a wide open touchdown. He was definitely concussed at the end.
No question, concussed. No question. It's just like, you saw him hit the ground, like, hey, that's a concussion. Like, he should not be playing anymore. He should be done. And I mean, and it's also like, who are you helping? He sucked the rest of the game. Like, you're not helping anyone.
Right.
I know we're trying to be tough and, you know, always getting back up for the team, but it's like, dude, y'all would have been better off if Mr. Trubisky handed the ball off 3 times and y'all run 2. And then, you know, hoping for a coin flip in overtime. And moving on. Maybe y'all get the coin flip and then y'all can win the game, so. I don't know, man. That was sus, to say the least.
Independent neurologist says, he's fine.
Independent.
It's funny because he, you know, the commentator said, you know, on the sideline or whatever, goes, oh yeah, he came and told that it was his chest that was in pain.
Chest.
Right.
Yeah.
But then after the game, in an interview, he said it was his ankle.
Ankle.
He went into the blue tent for his ankle. So,
oh my God.
We just lost all consistency on that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I think in the AFC, obviously the Chiefs look fine, but I think the Ravens are going to be, once they continue to figure this out, they're going to be really, really good.
Yeah, they're scary. We play them. But I guess it's kind of good. Just kind of good. I mean, part of me is kind of, now that we have the team that I think we have, let's play the better teams.
Yeah. Did you mend the schisms?
No, I'm still trying to get Alexandra here.
Oh, give me an event about it.
Oh. Oh, for you to do it? No, you can't do it. You're not Rome.
No, not to do that one, but because this is like break with Rome. What does Pope Stephanus think know of our lives? I thought it had something to do with that, but I think it's actually something else.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is what happened. All right, I'm gonna tell you all the story.
Yeah,
Last 10 minutes of Texas talk. So I
Texas talk.
so I converted to Roman Catholicism, right?
Okay.
It was in the books for me to do eventually.
Wait. So
And
you went away from Roman Catholicism to Catholicism.
I went away from Catholicism to Catholicism,
Okay.
and then I converted to Roman Catholicism.
Okay.
And then
Welcome.
I identified that you had women inheriting, and I have like 6 women that are all married to other people,
Oh.
not necessarily matrilineal, before my first boy.
Uh-oh.
And I pulled the plug on that and became Mozambique. Moza
Mozarabic.
Mozarabic. Is that Arabic?
I think
It
so.
sounds more
Yeah.
Arabic than Christian.
Mozarabic. Well, yeah, because that's, I guess, the Arabic's influence in Spain back in this time period.
But it's a Christian.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a mix between Christianity and Islam in Spain during that time.
Yeah. So then I had to pull the plug on that real quick and become it. So now, if you look at the religious split in Iberia, it's like 3 different religions.
Oh God, Catholic, Catholic, Mozarabic.
Yeah. So I made an oopsie.
Wow. Okay. So, but you're not the head of faith of Mozarabic, but your son is.
Yeah, we have our own pope now.
Wow.
Well, my son's the pope of Bartholomew, but not Mozarabic. That's Gerardo.
Wow.
So
you can reform Mozarabic again, and then make a new pope. So you have multiple popes in your family.
Yeah. Many crowns, many popes.
There you go.
2 popes.
Okay. The 2 popes. Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be a world of pain for you, because now you have an extra religion that you have to manage.
Yeah.
Another potential source of uprisings. Not just the Catholics, now the Catholics too.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
That was a mistake. I made a mistake.
Well, there you go. Happens to the best of us, right?
Huh. I think Wales looks about the same when we started.
Oh yeah. Well,
Wales
talk
is
to us.
all
Talk to
over
us
the
about
place.
Yeah, talk to us about what's happening in Wales, Bill. I see that your character has consumption, so that's not ideal.
We don't like that. I don't know. I'm trying to take land back over, but
From the Irish?
Yeah, from my brother.
King Salvador?
My brother, the King of Ireland. Who's being a little bit aggressive as far as he's taking some stuff. He's doing all that. I'm currently at war to try to get Durham, the county of Durham. This war is not going quite as well as I was hoping it would. For this little bitty county, trying to take the Northern Isles. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell you.
It's tough. It's hard sledding out there.
In a way, it feels like I'm back to square one. In a way.
Right. I can understand. Yeah, it can be pretty brutal when you have the split there with the kingdoms there. Yeah. Now basically you're gonna have to use most of this guy's lifetime here is gonna be involved in taking back what you already had.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever he probably gets to the end of that, then his kids can have it happen again. So let's say you get it all back, and then the next two sons you got, you know, Prince Philip and then Prince Peter. There you go, splitting up again there. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But eventually you get there quick enough, and then you can kind of get some more territory. It usually works out eventually, but yeah, it's a challenge. Are y'all at a saving point? Do you want to get a little further here?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good as well.
Make some notes here. Yeah, 'cause hopefully I just beat up on Byzantine to get a duchy title. And I need to finish Alexander. But yeah, and then once I do that, Bear, it should be time to let's get some together. Which I think might be helpful for you, because maybe you would have less people to deal with. That is a crazy turnaround for you though, Bear.
Son of a... Alright, oh yeah, I guess we can save it there then.
Score predictions for Sunday.
Well, I think the Patriots are pretty bad, particularly on offense.
That's a Newton lead take right there.
Yeah, there you go. And I think particularly on offense, but I'm a little worried about, you know, revitalize. Oh my God, it's our quarterback, Drake May, first in their home game, and I think they get to like 17. That might be too kind to them. And then we get to like 24, 23. So I'll go like
one possession game again.
Yep, another one possession game. Yep, I think so. I would love to be able to tell you that yeah, we're gonna beat them by 20, which I would love to see. I'd love for us to kick somebody's ass, like the Ravens kicked the Bills' ass. But I don't know. But if we don't have Nico, I don't know if we're kicking anybody's ass, unless like we see something from Tank and Stefan this weekend that they're finally gonna turn into. Especially Stefan is probably gonna turn into like a real number one here or not. But what do you think?
Well, the real Newton lead take would have been, well, Patriots aren't as good as they were with Tom Brady.
They're really struggling without him.
I don't know. I'm expecting Mixon to play. So I think it's going to be low scoring. I just don't see the Patriots putting up much on us. I don't see that. I can see like nothing sexy, but 21-10.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to take that. I'll take that.
I'm really, really hoping it's not a last possession game like every other game is.
Right. That would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, that's what I want for Christmas right there.
Yeah, give me 21-10. All 3 touchdowns by... No. 2 touchdowns by Joe Mixon. He's back, baby. 1 by Tank Dell. He's back, baby. I lied. 1 touchdown by Joe Mixon. 1 touchdown by Tank Dell. 1 touchdown by Xavier Hutchinson, the replacement for Nico Collins. Big body receiver. He's going to get it done. Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter finally wake up and start getting some sacks. Because Drake May sucks.
Yeah.
And we have 148 yards rushing. And then some like mediocre 213 yards passing type of game. It's a good, clean game to finally make us believe that our team isn't just, fortunate. Yeah, because I mean, we are honestly, we are currently in a negative point spread. 4-1 team, and we've given up more points than we scored. Because the one time we lost by 1 million. But we win by nothing.
One of those. I want to do that to somebody else that I won. Yes, I want us to win by 1 million. Can we do that, please?
That'd be great. That would be great. It's going to be a lot of blitzes. It's going to be a lot of blitzes. D'Amico, historically, QBs with less than 3 years in the league, he blitzes them like crazy.
That's wise.
So he gets after it, those dudes. So I think we're obviously gonna see that in the Drake May's first performance. It's gonna be could be a rough day for the kid.
Bear is firing up Madden?
Oh yeah, it was on sale.
Are you doing the career mode, or what's happening?
Yeah, I probably will do a franchise. I haven't played it yet. I bought it the other day.
Yeah. The Jags, the London, what was it, the London Monarchs?
The London.
There's this guy, this YouTuber that I've started to watch recently in the evenings when I'm laying down for bed. There's 2 of them. One of them, his name is Phomv, F-H-O-M-V. He's kind of a smaller YouTuber. I think he has like 70,000 subscribers or whatever. But he does these rebuild challenges where he takes a 0 overall team, so he lowers every player's stats to 0. Like they're true 0 overalls.
Yeah.
And he sees how many years it takes to win a Super Bowl. But there's more to it than that. So like the one that he just released recently is rebuilding a 0 overall team based off jersey numbers. And so what he'll do, he'll spin this wheel from 1 to 99. And let's say the wheel lands on number 7. If he can think of a player that wears number 7, he can add that player to his team.
Whoa.
So obviously CJ Stroud wears number 7, that's a great one. Smith wears number 7. I'm sure there's plenty of other guys that wear number 7. And he's like, oh, CJ Stroud. So he goes, he checks it. Sure enough, it is CJ Stroud. We're getting a correct guess. He now gets to add that player to his team, right? Well, if he gets an incorrect guess, he gets some sort of a punishment. So it's kind of like this hybrid of like a rebuild challenge, but it's also like a test your ball knowledge challenge, because when that thing lands on 61, you better know something. You know what I mean? You better know, like, Reed Humphrey wears 60. Like, you better dig deep in your bag, but also, like, you're at the mercy of the wheel, because if it doesn't land on a single digit number for like 40 spins, when are you getting a quarterback?
Right.
So it's kind of like a fun little rebuild challenge he does, and it's not concurrent years, so the players don't get older. So like he'll sim it, team went 0-17, and then he'll reload the file, do the spin again, add the player. So it's not like the players are aging like a regular rebuild would. It's more of just like simming the same season over and over and then adding a player. But kind of a fun little YouTube video guy that I've been watching, and I'm sitting there thinking, and when he'll land on one, it's sometimes like, let's say he lands on number 16 and he already has a quarterback. He's like, man, the only thing I can think of is Trevor Lawrence. And he's sitting there, he's kind of stumped. I'm like, no, Tyler Lockett wears 16. Tyler Lockett. Or like if he'll land on 14 and he's like for some reason stuck on Andy Dalton, I'm like, no, I'm on Raw, or whatever. And so it's kind of fun because like there's times where I actually know some of the guys that I'm like, you're forgetting this guy, but this dude like he is so knowledgeable that it will land on like the 57s of the world, and he'll think, okay, I can think of 357s, and then he has to pick like kind of like off his mind like which one he's most confident is 57, but also like which one he actually wants to add to his team. I couldn't tell you a number 57,
Right. Yeah, me either.
but it's a fun little rebuild video.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, boys. Well, GG's. We'll do it again next Thursday.
That's right.
Talk to you
GG's,
later,
guys.